Tame your dragons to keep winning. Howdy gang, Dr. Sean here. Thanks for joining as we continue the conversation on how we can keep winning. The big question this week is, do you have unnecessary and irrational fears that are keeping you from living your best life and enjoying your best health and performance? I know I have. Recently I discovered one and I've been trying to overcome it. I realized that I had a fear of motorcycles. Now, strangely, I've had people all around me that really have an interest in motorcycles. I have 3 brothers that are interested in motorcycles. One of my best friends, and who's also a godfather to my daughter, is interested in motorcycles and has had several. In fact, one of my daughters has really a big interest in motorcycles. Well, you know, down through the years, I think I had this idea that motorcycles were just for really young kids, pretty much young dudes. But I would say over the past, say, 5-7 years, this image got destroyed because when I was traveling, for the most part in other countries, I would see older men riding motorcycles, young ladies riding motorcycles, older ladies riding motorcycles. I've seen whole families of 4 or 5 people on motorcycles. I've seen so many people riding motorcycles that somehow and unwittingly and unbeknownst to me, it was making me curious. I think the whole idea that I had about them was being shattered into little pieces every time I saw somebody riding. Like one time, I'll never forget, I was in India and I saw a lady riding a scooter and sitting between her legs was a kid who had his head down resting on a bucket. And so I'll never forget, wow, you know, how is that possible? Anyway, all of these images kind of made me, affected how I looked at motorcycles. Sooner or later, I started seeing motorcycles that really caught my attention. I'd see a nice gray metallic looking motorcycle and I'd say, wow, you know, that's really nice. Then, you know, little by little I became more and more interested. And I was wondering, wow, where is this coming from actually? You know, I couldn't help but realize that I'd been scared of motorcycles pretty much all my life. I remember once addressing this fear and talking to my daughter about it and saying where the fear came from. And I told her that I thought that earlier in my years, that I got on somebody's motorcycle and I burned my leg. And then when I looked back at that, I realized that I didn't have any burn marks from having been burned. I think I just came close to the pipe and felt the heat, and I didn't actually get burned. So I had a fear of being burned by the exhaust on the motorcycle, and that's what kept me from riding motorcycles down through the years. Now, the reason why I'm talking about this is I think sometimes big irrational fears like that keep us from achieving great things in other aspects of our life. Do you have any things like that you have fears of? Are you scared of getting on an airplane? Are you scared of going over bridges? Or are you scared of being in an elevator? What is it that's keeping you from living your best life? Now, if you're like me, you're probably telling yourself, okay, I have these fears, but they're probably not keeping me from higher levels of health and performance. I'm still able to do all the things that I want to do. Let's be honest, there are some things that we'd like to do going into the future. We would like to take those visits and those trips, make those weddings and make those births of young children coming into our families. We would like to do more with our life. So let's go forward and see where we can make changes in our life, where we can overcome those fears, especially the ones that are irrational and the ones that we can actually overcome. We can overcome anything at small increments and in small fits. We can make small adjustments here and there. Let's do it, guys. Let's do it this week. And let's do it to keep winning. Take care, guys.